You know what? I could banter around things like quantum portals. I could talk about imprinting. I honestly think the universe is absolutely 100% trying to tell me something. Are you ready to listen? Let's go. What? That was beautiful. Oh no. Now, should I just press
If
it?
you would like
Yes.
to leave a message, press 1. Your call is now recorded. Is incorrect.
Yep. Hi, hello, and welcome to the Tequila Hour. My name is Amanda. It was last week, and it is again. What? It is Monday. I know. Bitch, what? It is the 2nd of March. That's a bitch watch, 2026, here in Australia, New South Wales. If you haven't figured out, I'm Australian. Yeah. In New South Wales, in the secret location. I will calm down. I don't know if it's a Monday thing. Monday's on my mind. I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm pumped to get into it. Yes, I do normally record this podcast every Sunday. I actually spent the Sunday just doing stuff. Actually, you know what? Shall we say living my life? That's what I was doing. I was living my life. So, yeah, no podcast did happen. I was going to say adhere. That's weird. Did not appear adhere on Sunday. But look, I have to talk about it. It's been a weekend. It has. It has been a weekend. I've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to touch on some themes today that I have touched on a lot. Maybe. I like touching. Awkward. Yes, things that I have touched on in the past. I'll get my mind out of the gutter in a second. And honestly, when as I swallow deeply and focus, Amanda, when I say to you that it truly is my honest belief that A, the universe is clearly on my side and trying to tell me mother fucking something. I can't speak. It's trying to talk to me. It's like, Amanda, how many signs, symbols, notations, written notes, themes, epiphanies, whatever, that we have to like shove into your face to realize what we're trying to tell you? That's what I'm going to talk about today. And yeah, it all comes back down to one place or in one place. And we've talked about this place lovingly, may I say. It's not a bad place, but I really want to talk about this because clearly someone is tapping me on the shoulder and going, Amanda, what are you doing? So first, before we talk about that and we talk about the title of this podcast today, let's do some admin because you know I want to do some motherfucking admin. That's right, bitches. It is the Tequila Hour. I am drinking tequila, but it's not Sunday. It is Monday. I know, right? Oh, yeah, I'm recording it on Monday. Worked, recording on a Monday. Let's rehash. I had the week off. I was sick. You would know if you listened to my podcast, my last podcast, and because I'm a professional, some would differ. F, not TH. Space Station 19 was the last episode that I recorded on the 22nd of February this year, mind you. And at the time, I was quite unwell. I had the flu. Yes, I was, drugged up on Sudafed and tequila. And yet, it could not dissolute the the powerful cooties that were in my... I was going to say something else. Look, I was sick. Why am I getting all fancy? I had the flu. I had a week off. I felt like shit. I needed a week off. If you might recall, in the last podcast, I was fired up, bitch. I was fired up. Am I still fired up? Yeah. If you're wondering. Look, am I as emotionally fired up as a week ago? No. I have calmed down substantially. There's many reasons for my calming, let alone the fact that I've had a week off. The flu basically took me to a place and then back again. Yes, I'm still a little bit nasally, so if I sound more nasally and more Australian nasally than normal, you know why. Because I still have a bit of a lurgy, but thank the heavens and above and everyone else who's listening that I feel a lot better than I did. So that's it. No, I didn't work for a week. Therefore, I'm not even have to really touch on it. I don't anyway, touch on work. I didn't work. I did a lot of sitting around, like I said, on cold flu medication, resting. Clearly, I needed a week off. My body, if I think I've pretty much touched on this previous as well, where, and you might identify this as my dear listener, that when you're under stress, may it be just life stress, impacted stress, completely in or out of your control. Yeah, my body, when it's, at its tippy top, when it's like, Amanda, you need to calm the fuck down and question your choices in all things life, it will basically bite me in the butt and give me a cold or take me down somewhere. Like, that's what happens. So, yeah, for me, when I get sick, and I don't get sick a lot, but when I get a flu or something like that, it's normally where I'm under like a high level of stress that's, been imparted. I've absorbed it, but I've also contributed, shall we say, to the high level of stress. Therefore, my body gives me the dry middle finger and goes, guess what? You're calming down. You need to relax and you need to recuperate. So, yeah, that's what I did last week. I did, however, by the time I got to Friday evening, which I already had plans in place, and thank fuck I did feel a lot better by Friday because I was going. I went to Sydney. So that leads us to this podcast episode today. First of all, if you live in Australia, New South Wales, as I do, and I live, I don't know, approximately an hour and something away north of Sydney, just for reference, we have the M1. Now, basically the major highway, freeway, yada yada, whatever you want to call it these days. Truck accident, blocked up, took an extra hour. It was a whole thing. I was happy to get there. Let's just say, when I finally got to Sydney, I was happy to get there. And why I want to talk about this particular, or, elements of this particular subject that I'll get into in a second is, yes, it's funny when, literally 2 weeks ago, I was talking about the moment when I was in Sydney and, it was Valentine's Day and, a beautiful woman basically stopped me on the street and gave me some flowers and a beautiful note. And, I was not done. Sounds quite dramatic, but I was done with bullshit. Basically, there'd been a bit of bullshit, a bit of shenanigans, and yeah, I was done with the bullshit, and I really, really was starting to question my own humanity and everyone else's around me. Suffice to say that, yes, that really did open my mind, and like I mentioned on the podcast where I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm okay. And even with being sick as a dog and feeling like shit, I am okay. So fast forward, we fast forward. And before you know it, a week or 2 weeks is gone, and I'm over my sickness pretty much. Still lingering, but pretty much. And I'm in Sydney. Okay, so I'm at the Fullerton now. I want to talk about this because I really don't. I really don't know the angles that I want to go to in this podcast today. There's multiple angles that I could discuss. I can discuss quantum entanglement. I could talk about quantum portals because, honestly, I feel like it could be. And I've touched on this as well where I've said, this was where the subject of imprinting, which I don't think is really referenced or could be referenced in what I'm about to discuss today accurately, if I want to be accurate or as accurate as I want to be. But knowing a place, and we all know a place. I mean, a good example is home. Most people, may that be your childhood home or a home that you live in now, as an example, may that be your own home, an apartment, you rented a house, yada, yada. It doesn't matter. But most people would acknowledge a sense of belonging, shall we say, to their place of residence. Now, is that because, that's your home and that's when you come home and you relax and, do you do all the good shit? You do all the good shit at home. You are hopefully with people that you love, and it's just a great place. It's your sanctuary. Therefore, it's associated with feelings of love and light and comfort and embracement. And is that a word? Embracement? Maybe. I'll go with that. Yeah. And in saying that, it's just a place where we could all say hand on heart that, there's no place like home. And there truly isn't. If you have a home, and truly for the people who don't, and I'm sorry that you don't, but, I got distracted by that thought. For people who do have that place, a place that they call home, you'd understand inherently that feeling that I'm talking about. After a fucking long day, as an example, and you've had a fucking long day, mate, all right? And you come home and, your family's there or your family isn't, or your dog's there, whatever your family dynamic looks like, shall we say. And you walk in the door and, your children hug you or they're screaming. They're either hugging or screaming. Like, let's be honest here. And, you could say the same for your partner as well. And, for a split second, you're like, fuck. But at the same time, trust and believe in your heart there's that feeling of comfort and joy that home will inevitably pull that out of my ass. Hello. I impressed myself. Yeah, that you have that overwhelming sense that you have. And it's a beautiful feeling, and I think most people would understand what I'm talking about. Today, I want to talk about, because this is a thing. To me, this is logical. This leads into spirits. This leads into the departed. This leads into quantum physics. This leads into resonance. It leads into energy. It leads into all the good shit that I'm absolutely enamored by. Let's just say I'm just, completely head over heels. And, the home is where the heart is. You feel the love. You can't tell me that you haven't been into a place, say you are a new renter and you've been into a place and you've gone to somewhere and you're like, fuck, what the hell happened here? Or you've walked into a home or a unit, you've just fallen in love completely. You know what that is? In my opinion, that's the people who used to live there and all the people beyond that. So that's where I'm talking about emotional imprinting. It's not the same as in the, psychological, description of imprinting, and we can talk about that in a second in reference to Freud. But this is the thing where the Fullerton, the Fullerton, I'm just going to take a sip of my drink. Grab yourself a drink. That's what I recommend. I'm drinking tequila, Patron with a bit of sugar-free solo. If you want to drink as well and a snack, go and grab yourself one. I highly encourage alcoholism. No. Maybe. Oh, just relax. It's time to relax. So grab yourself a drink and I'll catch you in a second. Bop. I'm back. Yeah, it was just a quick sip. I needed a sip. The Fullerton. When I'm talking about feelings and emotions and all the good shit, now you know I go to the Fullerton quite regularly. I've been going there quite regularly now in the last month or so, last year even, where at the moment I am, typically going to Sydney every fortnight. I have my reasons for that. We're not going to go into that today. But I will say to you that when the universe, and I talked about this a second ago, when the universe is tapping you on the shoulder and going, Amanda, hello, you listen, right? So a fortnight ago, my dearest listeners, that I had a shit weekend. Okay. Did I tell you exactly what happened? No. But suffice to say, things went awry. It's the wordy word that comes to mind at this present time. And, we got to the weekend and I went to 0 to 100 and then spent the remaining week after that just in pure, uh, unadulterated anger. Basically, I was having a moment. It wasn't the entire being for that moment and my mood for the remainder of the following week, but let's not speculate. It certainly contributed to that temperament that I had for a week. And yes, it was interesting because at the time I was thinking to myself, the room I was in, okay? And I've talked about this where there has been several moments now when I've stayed at the Fullerton in Sydney. And again, I'm not in any I just want to premise this. I'm not in any way, shape or form actually saying the Fullerton is in any way, shape or form at fault here or is shit or whatever. I actually really like the Fullerton. I've had some interesting moments at the Fullerton, clearly. I really like the place, and it's quite funny because it's now become as I hit the microphone, it's now become a place where I'm like, this is the place where I sort out my shit. It's like that. It's not in a sense where it's a home away from home. It's not that kind of feeling. I can't really align it to that either. It really, and I can't even align it to, and if you've seen a psychologist or a psychiatrist, as an example, going to see a psychologist in a particular office, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know that feeling. You know that you're going there and what it feels like. It's kind of clinical, it's kind of not. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of not. It's kind of comforting, but it's kind of not. The Fullerton is a little bit like that in the sense that it's a place that I really enjoy and I've had some phenomenal, interesting moments there. At the same time, it's really become this inherent portal uh, to for me in particular, and I don't know if you are the same. I would be honestly right now blown away if anyone else is experiencing the same shit. And honestly, if you listen to this podcast and you are experiencing the same shit that I'm experiencing at the Fullerton at Sydney, please tell me. Because honestly, we need to do some data analysis. We need to. Because this could be a prime example of some of the work that I want to do and what I'm trying to do in my future. What I'm doing now and what I want to do in the future. This place could be a prime example for this. I won't go into it, but it's around quantum physics and quantum entanglement and consciousness. This is the thing. I'm drawn to the Fullerton. I'm drawn to it for many reasons. I really like staying there. That's the honest opinion. Great location for me. Yeah, there's been some shitty moments, I'm not going to lie. It's not like, the world's best hotel, and I've stayed in a couple. I haven't stayed in every fucking hotel in Sydney, so I'm not a complete expert here. But all in all, I've mostly had good experiences in regards to my stay, in regards to my staff, in regards to my room, cleanliness, amenities, etc. Okay? Pretty much can't fault it, to be honest. It's pretty good for what, it's expensive. Let's not sugarcoat it, bitches. It's expensive, but I really like it. The thing is, it's now, for me, become this conduit, a conduit of emotional exploration. It's the only way that I can truly describe it. I've touched on this before, where there has been not just one, but multiple occasions where, for the use of a simpler term, things have gone awry in air brackets. And I've been in my room just completely, utterly in tears, crying my little heart out. I'm not talking like just a little gentle cry. I'm talking like deep shit, right? I'm talking like soul shit. And if you know, you know, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about soul shit, right? This has happened on multiple occasions. Now, clearly, for me, and we go back to the house, the home is where the heart is. I believe, in my opinion, that, like the home, if you go somewhere and you're in an emotional state, may it be a pleasurable state or a distressing state of mind, it's imprinting out. Your energy is fluid, okay? It's not stagnant. It's not, in my opinion, contained to your vessel, that is your body. It will emanate. Love that word. Emanate out, okay? It emanates out. Now, if you're in a structure like a hotel room, a bed, a house, whatever, and dependent on the, I don't know, the a powerfulness, the inherent gloriousness of the energy that you produce, which some would say would be your consciousness, then it's out. It's flowing. Now, some people wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. To me, can I be as trite to say, or contrite? Contrite? Anyway, can I be as bold to say that for me, I know personally that I can walk into a room and affect people. It just is. There's many reasons for that. I also know I can walk into a room and people affect me very clearly, very openly. They mightn't even know they're doing it, to be honest, but I am very aware of it. That energy field that we all possess, I would say to you, apart from my perfume field that often most people will acknowledge is quite vast, because I like to wear a lot of perfume, that my energy field is broad. And I would not at all be surprised that it not only would affect a person who's standing next to me or standing 50 meters away, but would affect things in front, a room. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, why I say this, when it's all then you start thinking, okay, right, this is interesting. So, we have this energy field and, it's our essence, it's our soul, and it's I don't say spewing forth, but it's emanating out of your source being, right? The body's the vessel, it's emanating out. Obviously, at times of high level of emotion, that source could be higher, shall we say. You would feel it, I feel it, I'm on the bed, I'm fucking crying my eyes out. Of course I'm feeling it. I've said that as well. I'm someone who, when I go to that place, I am balls deep. and I don't have balls. But just say, I'm balls deep. My whole vessel of a human being is feeling the emotion. And when I go to that point, I want to feel that. For a long time, I didn't. And now, I'm not walking around going, I'm just going to have a big cry fest so I can be in touch with my inner feelings. It's where I still find that it's not a challenge, but, for me to function as a human being in a way that I want to function and present myself, I can't live in that space all the time. It's just not, I was not going to say economical. It's just not practical for me to do that. So, yeah, the Fullerton has become, in a sense, that place where it's a place, really, it has become a place of time out. It has become a place where I explore things, and may that be physical things, may that be emotional things, may that be all of the above. So the interesting thing when I talk about this, leading back into the universe, leading back into, we've all been there. I don't know if you believe any of this, but for me, I think we've all can, if you just close your eyes and think about it for a second, we've all been there where, if you want to call it coincidence, you want to call it, like I said, the universe trying to tell you something, all these symbol signs, if you're into numerology, you're into numbers, you're into particular colors, particular times, time itself, all these kind of symbols that a lot of people could relate to. It is very interesting that I don't know how this happens. Okay. First of all, I'm just going to say this. I do not know how this happens. And this is where I'm like, now I really need to talk about it, because I honestly think, is the Fullerton a portal? I don't know. It could be for me. I don't know. Have I created this portal? That's the other question I want to talk about today. Just due to the sheer level of energy that, I'm projecting. And it's just, I don't know. But last week, I was sick, like I said. And the week prior, I was on fire. Literally on fire. And this is the thing. By Friday, I'd calmed down quite substantially. Like I said, I was still sick. Sickness basically clearly, distinguished or extinguished a lot of that fire that was in my belly, shall we say. Still, not as, I wasn't as angry, but still, yeah, like, don't mess with me, bitch, kind of mantra going on. And so we're Friday, long time to get there, like I said, due to the accident. And yeah, I'm at the hotel. We're at, I don't know, I think it was 1:00 that I got there. And I had plans for the evening, and I had plans for the next day, in the next morning. And when I say to you, the lady gave me the card, right? The key card, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, it's a key card, pretty much. Card to your room. And when you look, I don't know if you do this. I do this. I don't know if it's a little bit of dyslexia. I don't know. And I don't want to say that I'm dyslexic in any way, shape, or form, but I do this. I know. I think it's because I read things too quickly and I don't let my mind actually see what I'm reading. Where I'll see a number or I see a word and I think it's something completely different, right? I don't know if you are the same, but anyway, she gave me the card and she had the number, and then thank fuck, because I thought it was a different number, the room number, that is. And then she actually said it. Now, I don't know if it's because my face relayed this, and I'm like, that's weird. When you recognize, and I do recognize numbers, patterns in things, and I recognize this number, and I was like, that's interesting. For like that kind of that flash that you get when you remember something that seems familiar, right? And I went up there, and then as soon as I went in the lift and I pressed and it was the 23rd floor, I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me right now, universe? Let me have a drink.
Hold on, let me take my time.
That was quick. Yeah. No, are you kidding me, universe? Right? I was booked in. Now, I didn't choose this, okay? This is not coincidence. And I don't believe in I know someone who's like, I watch a YouTube, I'm like, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't either, actually. But when I say to you that I was booked into the same motherfucking room that I was booked into a fortnight ago, where I had a complete breakdown in, as I swallowed deeply, I was 2301. Now, I don't know how this works. Okay, and this is the title of the podcast today, 2301. That room is the portal of my emotional being. I don't know. It's a portal. I don't know how else to describe. I don't know, right? I have stayed in that same room multiple times. Okay, multiple times. I stayed in there a fortnight ago, and I stayed in the same. Now, the Fullerton has hundreds of rooms. Okay, what is the likelihood? Please tell me. What is the likelihood of you staying in the exact same room, not once, not twice, but several times? Okay? Literally a fortnight previous, I stayed in the same room. Shit went down. And a fortnight later, I'm like, okay, we're here to test this, are we? I'm like, I literally... It's hard to believe, I know. I literally got the card. I got out of the lift when I realised I was on the 23rd floor, shall I say. And I'm like, imagine if I was in the same room. Like, instantly, my mind, and I was, right? My brain was like, it's like trying to, my body's already there, right? My brain's trying to it's trying to catch up. And I'm like, I'm in the same motherfucking room. And I literally press the tag because the room itself is when you, again, if you've stayed at the Fullerton Hotel, you come out of the lifts, right? The lifts are in a particular place. You go left or right. Right, there's usually only one or two rooms, depending on the floor. Left, then I won't go into it. Let's just say, though, when I got out of the lift and I realised, I knew exactly where the room was. And I tapped it and I said out loud, I said, okay, let's sort this out. Let's talk about this out loud to the universe. Because I honestly was like, yeah, you are not giving me at first it was like you're giving me a second chance. You're giving me a second chance to really think about this. Okay, you're giving me a second chance to really think about this, which was very interesting. And at the same time, yeah, it was a complete mindfuck, mate. I honestly, I said out loud, is this a portal to my emotional soul? Is this it? Is this imprinting live? Is this proof of emotional, impartment of a physical being, a physical consciousness into a solid building, into a solid piece? Like, and immediately, all these thoughts. I mean, I'm opening the door, I'm laughing because I'm pretty much like, yeah, bring it on. I pretty much think I said to myself, bring it on. Like, Let's talk about it. I'm okay. I'm okay today, so let's I challenge you to bring it on. That's what that was the mindset. Because I was still coming off that salty week, shall we say, even though I'd been sick and, the saltiness had calmed down quite substantially. I was still a little bit a little bit testy, and I'm like, "Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready. Not even let's go, bitch. I'm ready. I really want this. I really wanna see." And you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna go into into specifics. One day, like I said, I will. I didn't end up on the bed crying. I did not end up on the bed crying at, 1:00 at night. There's some interesting things that did happen, that night. I won't lie. Again, though, I did choose a really sappy movie to go to bed with, and by the time I went to bed, it was about 1. I'd had, like, way too many tequilas. I was like I hadn't eaten yet, and it was 1:00. I'd literally had I think I had lunch, which was a bit of, like, sashimi and some gyoza, just a side note as to my food intake. Yes, I hadn't had a lot, and I had a bit to drink, and I was feeling it, so I ordered room service, and I ordered a burger, and I couldn't even hardly eat it. I just needed something in my stomach to try and absorb something. And as I, waited waited for my room service, and it came quite quickly actually, which was very nice because I was fucking starving. But I don't know if you do this when you suddenly especially when you've had a bit to drink, when you're fine for a while and then you're kinda like you're starting to feel dusty and then you're like, I need something to eat," and then that's all you can focus on. I need something to eat. Get out of my way. It was a bit like that. So yes, the burger came, I ate a bit of it, I hardly ate any. It was really nice though, I'm not gonna lie, it was really nice, and, some chips on the side, and I started watching Legends of the Fall. Now, I don't know, I'm gonna add it to the description of this podcast for those who haven't watched Legends of the Fall, the movie with Brad Pitt, and I can't think of her name, she's a beautiful woman. It's just so hit the microphone. It's just one of those movies, okay? I know is it a bit of forbidden love? I don't know, is it forbidden love or, expired love? Exasperated love? It's love. It's all about that. It's about love and feelings and all the good shit, that we all love. And, yeah, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and, yeah, I was doing stuff that morning later on. And I'm just eating, like, this, burger and watching Legends of the Fall and watching Brad Pitt. Like, I just and you know what? I was even with that night's shit that would happen, which, inevitably, I often go back to thinking to myself that I don't know, maybe I secretly think I can control the narrative of everything around me, which clearly I can't. That, I've become more and more tolerable, shall we say, to just things going awry and being okay with that and accepting it for what it is and not, going to some deep, dark forest where I just want to annihilate the human race. No, it's not that grim. Uh, sounded grim just then, but that's what I'm saying. It was it was an interest. I had a good night. Was it the best night in terms of the outcome that I wanted to achieve? Maybe not, but yeah, I did enjoy myself. I had a great night, and clearly I'd had too much to drink. And yeah, it's ironic that again, if you know the ghost story. Me watching Ghost at the Fullerton, not in that room, mind you, it was a different room actually. But, yeah, watching or was it in the same? No, it was a different room because the No, the bed was a different way. Sorry, I had to think about it for a second. Yeah, I really enjoy, note to self, getting drunk, watching a really I know I implore you to do this actually. This is if you want to examine your emotions, then yeah, get drunk and watch a sappy love movie in a hotel on your own with room service. You will get to the crux of it. Trust and believe that. But, putting it back to a place where, a fortnight previously where I was in absolute tears, emotional, I wouldn't say distress. It was just like, it was coming out and I let it come out. That, yeah, I was drunk and eating a hamburger and I was just smiling. I was just like, yeah, and watching Brad Pitt because, if you know that movie, mate, he's hot. And now I'm distracted by Brad Pitt, but yeah, this is the thing. Coming back to the topic where I've stayed in that room 2301. Now I haven't chosen the room. Okay, I haven't said to anyone I want this room in particular, or this is my room, bitch. I'm not that precious, and I'm not that powerful, and I'm not that important. I'm just a person. I have never in any way, shape or form said to anyone I must only stay in that room. It has been absoluteness that I have stayed in that same room now several times and explored multiple emotional states in that same room. And this is where it comes back to that portal, that quantum portal, that imprinting that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that place that, your home is that place that there's no place like home, where you just feel safe and warm and cuddly and loved. That this room is the portal, is the vortex of me where I go to just explore my emotional depths. It really has become that. And this is the thing, I don't know if this is like everyone else has this. Is this a Fullerton thing? This is now I'm like questioning, is this the Fullerton? Okay, I honestly Google the fact, like, has anyone died there? Because, and I don't think, I felt like death has been upon me. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about that imprinting of emotional energy into a solid state is what I'm trying to get at. Where clearly in a hotel, think about it, people in multiple states of emotion. Okay, just close your eyes. I don't know if you want to close your eyes, but when you do this, close your eyes and think about all the different emotional and physical states people are in when they're staying at a hotel. Think about that for a second. Just maybe a couple, if you want to go there. Think about it. They are strong, okay? They are. If you're going to talk about human emotion, there'd be some really good hypercharged emotions that would be, exuded out of a human being while staying at home. And this is the thing, we're talking hundreds of people, right? That energy has to go somewhere, doesn't it? That energy, it's not magically going out there. There's no open windows. It's not going out the exhaust fan. It has to impart. You can't tell me it doesn't impart. And this is the thing where it's imparted. It's in the fabric of the hotel. I'm pretty sure, thinking about it now, while I'm thinking just off the top of my mind, there's an American horror series about a hotel. Is it the one with I think she did several, but anyway, where the main character and storyline was in a hotel. I'll think about it. If I think about it, I'll try to add it to the description. But this is the thing. You can't tell me a hotel doesn't imprint this highly charged energy that, as us human beings, exude through osmosis out into the ether. That is a hotel. And when I say the Fullerton has become that place, it is that place. It's a portal, mate. For me, it's the place where now I go there and, yeah, whatever happens, it happens. Like I said, a fortnight previous, shit went down. A previous fortnight to that, shit went down. Um, shit went down a week ago, but again, I wasn't, crying my eyes out, but I was watching Legends of the Fall. Yeah, it's just where you now and I now really question the fact that I've stayed in the same room multiple times. And, when we talk about that emotional, I don't know what I want to call it, but impartment of emotional being of a person into a solid object or solid objects, such as a hotel, that it's just, to me, there's not that additional upper level of the fact that it's not just the hotel, because I choose the hotel, clearly. I like going there and I love staying there. Now, there is clearly an emotional attachment for many reasons to it. Yet, take the emotional attachment out of it, okay? Because, there's many reasons why I stay there, mainly being that it's very close to where I can work in Sydney and it's in a great location. That's one of the really good aspects of it, and clearly the parking that's right next door. There's some really good benefits to staying at the Fullerton. I can't, however, explain how I just end up in the same motherfucking room several times. And that's what I'm saying. There's a level of, clearly there's emotional impartment going on here, or imprinting, or portal, quantum portal, homeostasis. I'm making up words. That's going on. Or it really is another level of consciousness where the universe is like, yep, we've got you, bitch. We've got you. We've got you. We see you. And you see me, or us, or it, ether, all encompassing. And we're going to do this. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to put you here. Now, I don't know if you believe in any of this, but I'm telling you right now, there has to be a reason why this is happening. There is a reason why this is happening. I have an inclination as to some of the levels as to why this is happening for me, without, me relaying the whole entire story to you as to why, which I will. Actually, I will, and I've made a promise that I will do that one day, where I will tell you the whole entire story, unedited, shall we say, because I think it's important in the context of, especially in these kind of conversations, where I'm saying to you that room is a conduit. That room is entanglement quantified, in my opinion, for me. And I don't know then if it's just the energy that I'm exuding, or it's then the energy of all that is then literally a portal in that particular room. Is it just the blessed heart of the universe just giving me the chance to go, we've got you, girl. We see you. I see you. I'm thinking somehow they're higher than me. I don't know. They might be. They're giving me the two fingers and going, look in my eyes and looking at you. We see you. And I'm happy with that. I'm not no way at all saying that I'm uncomfortable with this. I make the constant definitive choice to stay there for many reasons, but I clearly am acknowledging, in part, the powerful reason of me just exploring some of this energy that I feel when I stay there. And clearly the universe is like, yep, we've got you. Mm-hmm. You're going to stay in the same room every single time. Every single time. And now I'm like, and for me, who, you know how much this fascinates me, and it's part of my life work, to be honest. I'm like, is this beyond what? I feel like it's beyond just this conversation that I'm having, that I'm needing to sort out some shit in my life. It is, and this could be my mind just expanding to try and explain, or it could actually be where this is a real version, in essence, in my hands, that one day I can go, I can use this data, this analysis, this feedback to apply some of the theory that I want to apply. It just blows me away. And this is the thing, it's more than just coincidence. It's more than just, yes, I book the same place every fortnight pretty much, etc. I'm saying to you, there's forces beyond my control, clearly, that I have stayed in this same room and I've had multiple experiences in around a particular life choice that I've made, for the use of a better word, that, yeah, I'm still exploring and still understanding, and is clearly expanding. And yet I feel, a fortnight ago, I'm like questioning it all, questioning it all. And then a fortnight after, I'm like, after some, and I think there was very warranted, some of the things that I had to then really have a think about, that, yeah, I was okay. And it comes back to that note, and it comes back to that woman giving me the flowers, and it comes back to being in that same room a fortnight later, and then watching Brad Pitt, watching Legends of the Fall and eating hamburger and going to sleep. And yeah, there's some other things that happened, which I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but there's, like I said, I will tell you one day. There's other things where, you know, again, I could talk about, where I don't say I was being watched, but there was, and I think it was a lot to do with that I was extremely tired as well, so I was a little bit hypersensitive. But I honestly feel like it sounds fanciful when I say it. It's giving me an opportunity to explore some of the things that I really want to explore at this place. And, I don't know if it's because I'm imparting so much of my physical being there openly. And I'm back. My husband was calling and I had to answer the phone. So, yeah, I just listened back to what I was saying. And I'm like now thinking, you're probably thinking, Amanda, are you on the wacky? On the wacky tobacco. No, I'm not on the wacky tobacco. No. I was drunk, but I wasn't on the wacky. I wasn't. Truly. No, I wasn't. I tell you if I was. Actually. Yeah, this is the thing. It's really, I don't know, cemented for me some of the mental exploration around consciousness, actually, around quantum theory. I know you'd be like, Amanda, how can you compare the two? How can you compare staying in the same hotel room several times to quantum entanglement? Yeah, so it's an interesting point. This is the thing. To me, it's logical in the sense of just the heightened emotional state of people staying in hotels, imparting that energy or their energy into a solid structure. That's, to you might be thinking, really, what, you know? You enjoyed an espresso and you really liked it and it made you really happy, and that energy expressed itself as happiness into the desk that you were sitting at the time. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's actually what I'm saying. I'm saying that my energy is imparted in that room, is imprinted into that room. And not only that, but the universe, and whatever that looks like for you, may that be God, may that be spirit, may that be consciousness at its baseline, may that be all encompassing, your spirit guide. I don't know. Whatever you align to. And for me, I'm still, you know, I want to say quest, but I'm still open minded to think it's so much more than you could ever imagine or understand. That to me, why wouldn't that say, if that's something that you align to and you believe in and you want to believe in, why wouldn't, as I call it, the universe, that would be like tapping you on the shoulder and giving you the opportunity to explore some of those things you just really want to explore in your life. And not only give you the opportunity to do that in a place that you feel safe in, which is probably inherently good, but also giving you the space and dignity to be okay with that, and give you even greater opportunity to, like, if you want to go there, and that, mate, we've got your back and you're okay. And for me, the signs are absolutely clear. The signs are crystal clear for me. The fact that I've been, in the same room multiple times, the fact that, there's flowers and that beautiful note that that lady gave me on the street. Some of the things that have happened where I've just, like, honestly been, I wouldn't say at my wit's end, but I have just felt, to the emotional depth of my soul, just absolute sadness. I wouldn't say despair, because despair means no hope, and there's always hope, in my opinion. I mean, there has been times in my life, but no, there hasn't been that level of despair. It's just been great sadness that I've allowed myself to feel, and explore some of those interesting, mechanisms we have that perhaps we never really have the opportunity to explore, say, at home or at work or with your friends or with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever, with your substantial other, if you're lucky to have one in your life. Yeah, that's what this place has come or has become for me, and I'm comfortable with that. And it just brings up that greater conversation around the room. And for me, it aligns with some of the theories and thoughts that I have around consciousness as a whole, and around the human race, and about people in particular, and about energy, and about human thought and human existence. And yeah, I'm absolutely, completely fascinated, explorative, curious. Yeah, and I'll clearly, because I'm going there in another fortnight, I'm keen. I'm keen to explore some of the things I want to explore, and know there's that nice knowing, a nice gentle hug, shall we say, from the universe going, "You're okay." And yeah, look, well, we're gonna have your back in its entirety. You got your back. You're okay. And that's how I feel. And I honestly, I open this conversation and I talk about this today because I can't be the only person in existence on this whole planet that we call Earth that has similar or same experiences, you know, at places like this. Or even, shall I even expand it even, or narrow it even greater, to the fact that you have that same experience at the Fullerton. This is a thing. We all probably have different experiences at different hotels, shall we say. One that comes to mind is, the hotel when you're married and you have your first night when you're married. That went to my mind. That went straight there. there's going to be energy that's imparted there. There's always going to be a sense of this is the place where, you know, we spent our first night together as a married couple. As one example of all the examples that came into my mind and my conscious then, that's the example that came into my mind. This is the thing. Clearly, that's going to be a strong bond to that place. You're always going to remember that, hopefully, if you had a good night, you know, and you were married, so hopefully you'd like to think you did have, even if you fell asleep and nothing happened, you still had a good night because it was your night, the day and the night that you got married. So that it's always going to have that connotation. It's not just that impartment that I'm talking about. Like I've said, I'm narrowing it down to the Fullerton. I'm calling it. Is it the Fullerton? Is it the Fullerton? Is it a conduit? Is it a portal? Is there other places that could be interpreted as portals for us mere human beings to then finally touch on the shit, the minutiae that we as human beings have to sort out in our lives, separate to places like our home? Now, I'm just thinking just then off the top of my head, you know, as I sit here in the studio, and this is a place clearly where I impart a lot of my personal energy into, where, you know, there is restraint. So there has been times at the Hilton, which I've stayed, at the, that's funny, Freudian slip, at the Fullerton, where there has been an immersion of energy. There has been an immersion of energy here, but a lot of the time there is restraint. This is a place where, you know, I play with makeup, I work in. So it's multifaceted, shall we say. So I'm assuming that there's conflicting energies in this particular space, and I'm in right now. For me, though, yeah, it's a place where I'm drawn to. I want to, I feel comfortable here. I am comfortable here speaking to you and speaking my innermost thoughts as much as I can to you coherently and honestly and with love and openness. There has to be, and there is clearly, I'm acknowledging places where, you have that opportunity as a human being just to explore and play. And hotels are certainly a good place to play, but just see it as more than that. And maybe if you've had experiences like that yourself, where there's a particular place separate to like a hotel, for example, or your home, because I was about to touch on outside. So that's another story for another day, because I've talked about trees, but that's vastness. We're talking vastness now, and that's a really interesting, when you talk about hotels and they're contained. It's a structure and a building. The Fullerton's a large building, but it's a contained structure. The outside's the outside. It's out. Like, that's another level, or multiple levels that we could be talking about there. And I think I should. No, I will. I will explore that further one day. But I'd love to know if that's something that resonates with you as a person. If it's certainly narrowing it down to a pinpoint, if it's the same experience that you have felt at the Fullerton, I would be fucking curious to know if you've had experiences like I have, where you've stayed in the same room, you've been given the same room, you've had quite emotional charged states of mind, physical and emotional states of mind, multiple levels of emotion. I don't need to go through the plethora of emotions here today, but just use your imagination. If that's something that you can, identify with and acknowledge, and you feel the same, especially at that place, I know I need to really, and why I'm talking about this today in this podcast, and this particular room 2301 in particular, is that this is, for me, if you didn't know, this is a place where often I'm just going to talk about stuff where this is a reminder for me. This is a subject and a matter of discussion that I will explore again. So this is a live verbal, communication for the ether outside, but for my own machinations in my mind to revisit and go, yeah, remember that podcast you did? Yeah. So there is a bit of that as well. So yeah, if you have had I'll spit it out. If you have had experiences like that, like I've experienced or try to explain as best I can in today's podcast, I really honestly 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 so cute. Honestly, I'd love to know about it. So, segue, you can reach out to me anytime via my email address. My email address is info@thetequilahour.com.au. You can email me anytime. The place that you probably would be familiar for you is Instagram, where I have the Tequila Hour podcast page and my own personal link page, which is the_1_Amanda. Love to hear from you. Do I have a business number yet? I heard you. Yeah, I heard you, that one person. Because remember how I did do a whole podcast about texting and emailing? No, I do not have a business number yet. I haven't forgotten either. I'm not someone who forgets quite easily like that. So, yes, it is still something moving forward that I will have. Because honestly, look, texting, smexing. It's so easy, isn't it? But I just really want to just talk to you. I really just want to talk to you, and I want to hear your voice, and I want to hear the inclination, and I want to feel you through your voice. So that's what this podcast is for me, is me imparting my voice, my soul into verbal audio for you to hear. And yeah, hopefully you like what I'm putting down, and yeah, I look forward to the next one. So, no, I'm not staying at the Fullerton this week. It's Monday today. I am next. There probably will be a part 2. I am next time, or part 5 or 10. I'm staying at the Fullerton on Friday the 13th. You know what? I am even going to get fancier, and I'm going to do a podcast on the 13th, Friday the 13th at the Fullerton, I think. I think it's time. It's time. It's warranted. So, yeah, look out for that. But I will do a podcast this coming Sunday, which will be the 8th. As always, thank you. I have noticed the upshift in the downloads of my podcast, so I'm truly am grateful for that. Thank you. As I look up, cross my hands. Thank you for that. Thank you for the people who are taking the time to listen to what I'm putting down. And yeah, have a great week, and I'll catch you at the end of the week. And I look forward to speaking with you then. See ya. Bye.